get rolling. Okay, there's one. There's two. So apparently last time after we kind of got jump back on, we had like 6 or 7 people get back on with us. I don't know how I missed the comments, but we did. But that was nice. I went back and thanked them. So, all right. Looks like we are up and running. Let's get this bad boy out of the way. Okay. Hey, here we are. Hello.
Hello.
And it's another wonderful Thursday. Another wonderful Thursday. Second to last Thursday this year. Is that what this is? Yeah, we got one more next week. Yeah. All right. Wow, look at that. We hit everything is up and running. Both Facebook pages, YouTube. Can always depend on YouTube, but yeah.
It's a Christmas miracle.
And Robert's joining us. How are you, Robert? How are things over in the UK, buddy? Yeah. Awesome. Well, it's feeling like Christmas here. Temperatures are nice and cool. They're calling for some clipper systems from Alberta tomorrow. So Vic or Jamie or one of those guys are sending down some snowflakes for us tomorrow. So we'll see what happens.
You can have them. On your side of the country, your side of the Mason-Dixon. Yeah.
Robert's saying, I'm doing just fine. Just getting ready to celebrate Christmas. Yes, we all are, buddy. Absolutely. Best time of the year to be a kid, right? Best time of the year. Yeah, absolutely. It's the kind of thing, once your kids grow up, you kind of like, still fun, but not like when they're little, you know, Mike?
Oh, yeah. I got that wonder and Santa, what did Santa bring? And
oh, yeah. Yeah.
Cookies and
oh, man. How much fun like I would have with things. Like I know the one year I took a pair of my boots and I took some baby powder and on the bottom of them, I just kind of made them damp. And then I went through the house on the carpet to leave boot prints. That was fun. The dumbest thing I ever did was we were trying to get my son to bed and he wouldn't go to bed. And I grabbed 2 rubber mallets and I got a ladder and I crawled up on the roof in the middle of an ice storm. And we're trying to get him to go to sleep. And I'm walking down. My roof isn't pitched real hard. It's just a 612 standard. And I'm walking down with the mallets going cluck, 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 while my wife is in the house trying to get him to go to sleep. And I'm sliding and I'm praying to God fall off in that roof. The Santa come, yep, and Dad's laying in the front yard.
Like Phoebe Cates' dad in Gremlins. They find you in the chimney in 2 weeks. Yeah.
But
I want to say when I was like 6 or 7, I heard the noise and my dad came and got me and Santa was there. But now when I look back on it, I see it was his lawyer, Dick Madden. But it was, but back then it was like, oh my God, Santa came to my house. He's real.
Yeah. Yeah, there was, my mom worked for a law firm, and she had a gentleman that had worked there. It was a clerk or something, and retired. Big gargantuan of a guy, like 6'6", 6'7", big guy. And he would come every year with I don't know if it was like a son of his or someone. And he was older and pulled off Santa to the T. And I mean, he did such a great job. I remember we were living in an apartment, and I was kind of like pessimistic. I'm like, yeah, you're not going to come here because we don't have a chimney. We had a fireplace in a chimney at our house, and here we were in an apartment with the utility room, like how are you going to get in here? And he's like, well, and he sold me on it. I was like, okay, good. He's coming. We're all good. No.
Comes through the dryer vent. Yes. Yeah, I think when he was 11, I think my son said to me, there's only one fat guy with a beard who brings me presents, and I know his name ain't Santa. So.
Oh, man. It's all fun. It's all good, It's like reliving it. Now you got grandkids, so you kind of get to kind of go through a little bit of that again. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Hayes will be our newest grandson. He'll be 1 on Christmas Day.
Oh, that's
And he
right. He
saw,
was born Christmas Day.
yeah,
That's right.
he saw Santa this last week, and the other two kids, Harper's 10. I think she kind of, well, maybe there is. Hudson, I think Hudson's still convinced. So yeah,
Well, maybe Harper's kind of like maybe kind of knows, but isn't going to spoil it for
yeah,
Hudson. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
There
Which is
goes
cool.
Santa. Yeah,
Yeah. Save that until they really need it. Be like, yeah, he's not real anyway. Well, you guys at home tonight, we do have a special guest coming on. We've got Steve Hoveke, if I'm not butchering his name. He's going to come on, and we're going to talk a little bit about the book that he or company he works for, and the new book that they have, and hit on some of that. And talking about Christmas and holidays, we're going to be kind of wrapping up 2004 and kind of reflecting on 2004, and maybe ask a couple questions about what's going on for 2025 here. So good stuff. What kind of wait? Oh, and I have to show off my latest shirt. Check this out.
something Hooper.
Hooper Oceanographics, and it's the insignia from the little distress light or whatever that he puts on the
Oh,
yeah,
that's
on the
kinda
barrel,
cool.
the strobe, yeah, which was like a Vietnam era, I think, strobe light used by the Navy or something like that. Yeah, yeah, good old Mark Fitzgibbons sent that to me. That was really nice of him. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, very cool stuff. As I said, it's like if you're not a Jaws guy, you have no idea what this is. You know what I mean? This could be anything, but yeah.
that's why I
That was really
posted on the Jaws 50 page. It's Howard Sackler's birthday. I just said, "Happy birthday, Howard Sackler." Then I put, "If you know, you know."
Yeah, we got a lot of birthdays right around now. We just had Steven Spielberg's. We had Ian Shaw's birthday. In
Howard's
fact,
birthday.
we'll hit on a little bit of that tonight. Yeah, we got Sackler, a bunch of people. Yeah, somebody knocking on the door here. I believe our guest has arrived, so let's bring him in. All right, here we go.
Hey guys.
Hello,
Hey,
Steven. How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me all right?
Fine.
Yeah, we see and hear you just great, buddy. We are
Beautiful,
live
beautiful.
and rolling.
Excellent.
Excellent. Yeah.
How you guys doing today? Good?
Doing wonderful. First of all, very nice to meet you, Steven.
Yeah, very.
Pleasure to meet you
Yeah.
both.
Thanks for hopping on short notice. That's really cool. So give us a little bit of background about you and the company, because I'll be honest with you, I did look up, check out the website and things. I don't know a whole lot about you guys, so maybe kind of give us a little bit.
Sure. So my name's Steve Hoveke. I'm the publisher of a company called Printed in Blood. We started off, we originally started in 2012 doing posters at conventions, like alt movie posters, because it was just a thing that me and my partner were really into. And he was in the business of putting on a convention in Long Beach, California. And so every year we would do a few posters to sell at the show, and then, sell online, kind of as a follow-up. And then, after a couple of years of doing that, there were so many big guys in the market. Mondo was killing it with the quality level of stuff they were doing. Bottleneck came on board later, but and at the end of the day, posters weren't, as much as I loved them, they weren't the business that I wanted to be in.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got an idea to do a book, a collection of art, looking at all this artwork done by other artists for a property that really well. Had always kind of fed into us, and we kind of got to tooling around with the idea of putting together a book, a collection of alt movie posters done for a specific title. We thought people might dig it. All the artwork you'd get would be unique. So that's the kind of the initiation of our direction. We ended up, we had a connection with a guy at the time at Universal, and we were able to make a licensing deal that was very equitable for us for John Carpenter's The Thing. It's one of those movies that kind of everyone who we know and hang out with are all huge fans. Of course, I discovered, once we got into the meat of the project, that, there were even more out there than I realized. But so that was really our first project, and we got that to market in the summer of 2017. So next year is technically our 10th anniversary as far as books go. So and we've been really lucky. Once we got the Thing book in hand and we were able to hand it to people and show people what it was, which ended up being, you can see behind me the Thing art book there on the end. It's 400 pages, because we didn't know any better, so we just kind of put everything in there we liked, and you learn things along the way, like any new business or any new anything, and shipping a 6-pound book to Australia is pretty expensive. And even 10 years ago. So we learned our lesson very quickly to sort of curb our appetites when it came to how much artwork to include to something like that. So but yeah, so then we started attending Licensing Expo in Vegas after that, and we started to go the route of doing licenses, and we ended up, again, very lucky. My partner's wife worked for Nike at the time, and they had a bunch of partnerships going on with different things. So we kind of snuck in on some meetings with her. And so that's how we got our foot in the door with Netflix to do our second project, which was for Stranger Things. And it was like just getting ready to launch the 3rd season. There had just been kind of some teaser artwork out there for the 3rd season. So just for us, the timing worked out really well. And so that was just another one that just kind of fell in our laps. So beyond that, we struck up some relationships with a couple of other publishers, and we did some work on with Insight Editions for a Ghostbusters volume, and then we did a deal with Titan Books, who remains one of our partners, and even now, and we did an Aliens book and a Firefly book for them. And so, we've now kind of gotten, and from that point, we were kind of started going after our own licenses ourselves, because, going through someone else's license, the paperwork is easier, but the payday is not as good.
Right.
So then we started going after our own licenses. We ended up we did a Halloween art book for John Carpenter's Halloween. We have a really good relationship with John and Sandy Carpenter. So those are always easy projects for us to kind of address and kind of, add in, extra content for, because I can just reach out to them and be like, hey, we're doing a new project on this. And they're, I wrote some comics for Sandy's horror comics a number of years ago. So that's kind of how I kind of got into a friendship with them. But so then moving forward, back in 2023, we were working on some other projects, and I said, listen, I told my partner, I said, listen, I'm doing a book in 25 for Jaws. I go, it's the 50th. It's a movie that, for me, it's got a very specific place in my sort of movie history.
Sure.
Like movie history. So, this is one I didn't want to miss out on. And this sort of also kind of kicks off a series that I want to start doing as we sort of get into, like, now being 50 years on from some of these iconic films. I mean, in 10 years, it's going to be 50 years from the 80s. Sorry, guys. I know that hurts, but
that's hard. That's hard to choke down some days, isn't it?
I know. So, but, in some of those movies doing 50th anniversary projects, they're going to be huge. It's just that the amount of nostalgia that's built by then is just going to be tremendous. So this is one I really wanted to kick off with. It's super iconic. Everything about this movie has a huge fan base. And it's for me personally, it was a project that I was very adamant about doing.
That's awesome. So without a doubt, you've got that real strong personal connection, outside of it. So in large, and I did, I wanted to pull up some of the visuals of some of the books you're talking about. You guys have a really big library. I mean, really, really impressive. So is it, and I hate to sound ignorant to the facts. So is this, so are we talking about like visuals that you also like the story printed in with some visuals, or how are you guys more like graphic based? So
what these are, and again, it's a term that I don't love, but it's unfortunately the quickest and easiest way to describe what we do. Our books are collections of fan art. But
Oh, wow.
but
Oh, that's cool.
but the fans that we are going to are professional illustrators. So
Right.
it's not just, it's some of our volumes are open to submission from anyone. We don't discern that, oh, hey, your guy who's working on, who hasn't had a big payday yet, or hasn't, done any professional commercial work. That doesn't matter. You produce a piece of art. If you go back into some of our books, you can go through them and you can see the entire, our pieces run the entire gamut of art in general. We've had photographers, professional illustrators, animators. We've had guys do physical paintings. We've had guys do sculptures. We've had, guys do toy photography, and present that photograph as the art. We don't define what art is.
Sure.
It just has to come from a place of love of whatever property that we're working on at that time.
Well, and I think what plays to the strength of carrying on some of these incredible films and stories that we all, have grown up with and love to this day, at times is the reinvention or the reintroduction of some of these stories through some of the modern art. Because I mean, we're Jaws nuts, and we've been looking at the same Jaws posters for 50 years now, and the stuff that you see that I've seen in the last 5 years, to me, it just, number one, reinvigorates me, because I'm going, oh, there's someone else's take on it. There's someone else's perspective. And I think that at times, the visual world that we live in, that's going to be a sell. That's going to draw someone in more than, maybe the original iconic poster that we all love from 1975. And so I think that tends to be a vehicle to new people, get some new blood flowing. Yeah,
absolutely. And there are so many people that love this stuff. And, and a lot of these guys, it's funny because even like on some of the properties we've already, done work for, a lot of the guys and the artists that we talk to and deal with have already done pieces years ago. Like there's a guy, Matt Ryan Tobin, who did a beautiful Jaws poster for, I think, for Mondo a couple of, number of years ago. We just put out Maddie's first art book collection, which the Jaws piece is in. But I've already spoken with him, and he's interested in doing a new piece just for the book. So, a lot of these guys, even if they've already done something, for a property at one point in their career, later on they think of another idea, or it's like, oh, I wish I would have done that, or something's a little different, and then it gives them an opportunity to kind of go back and kind of readdress anything that they might have changed.
Sure. Yeah. We've got a guy that hangs out on the pages who does a lot of that. Lee Hartnip, who has done stuff for just about everyone, including Mike with his last book, that just does some amazing stuff as well. I don't know if his name has kind of floated your way with the Jaws stuff or not. He's done some pretty impressive things. Yeah.
No, but
goes by Goat Boy.
Goat Boy is what he goes by. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd have to look up and see if I have a Goat Boy in my database, but as I said, I do. Lee Goat Boy Hartnup. He's in my. He should be on our project mailing list. So when that goes out, he should see it.
Good.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I mean, so since the Thing book started, we started off that, and we started building an artist database to which we can just go out now with a single blast, an invitation to artists for every project we do. And not every book is going to be to every artist cup of tea. It's not everyone's going to love Ghostbusters the same way. Not everyone's going to love Firefly the same way. So the roster of artists in any particular volume is going to change project to project too. So you get a little bit different flavor each time. And then new artists are constantly finding us or finding out about us or seeing our books and be like, oh man, I really wish I would have been around for this project or this project, but keep me in mind for anything new you do, or let me know any new projects. So we're constantly growing our database of artists. And right now we're up over 1,800 artists that we can just literally go out to with a single email and just say, hey, this is our next project. If you're interested, let me know, and I'll get you the information.
Wow. Yeah, and there's a couple deep dives you got going on there, going back to my young childhood there. So Ultraman.
Yeah, we made a deal with Super Eye Productions a couple years ago to do an episode guide and an art book, and we've just finally got them both finalized completely. We were tying up some loose ends on the cover approvals. And so it's got a Kickstarter that is ready to launch, and that will launch actually just after the first of the year for those 2 books. And then the next things kind of coming down the pike are the Crow book, which we just closed the art submission window for. That's
wow.
for the 30th anniversary of the Crow.
No kidding.
And then we're right now collecting art for a Mars Attacks project. Based on the old Topps cards, not the movie.
Not the movie.
Okay.
Right. And then the next one to go out will be Jaws. So
cool.
Incredible. Yeah. Awesome stuff. I'm definitely going to be looking. So if we were to reach out, and I'm going to post your website up once we're done here on the pages. Where else besides your website, availability wise, can people track you guys down as far as getting their hands on the books?
In the past, we've had, so I don't know if you've got any UK fan base, but we generally try and keep our titles somewhat stocked when we can at Forbidden Planet in the UK, just to aid in that sort of the process, especially when we go up for pre-orders. When, you know, once we have the ability to give them the information they need, the book will go up for pre-order and get listed on Forbidden Planet's site in the UK, so that people in the UK will be able to get it and not have to pay $45 to ship it to them.
Sure.
But we've also got an Amazon store that we're in the process of getting finalized and squared away. So within the next, hopefully, month or so, that'll be up. I don't know if Amazon allows independent publishers to do pre-orders through Amazon, because they're still a little hinky about that, unless you're actually distributing through Amazon, which then they can control kind of the flow process.
Right.
So you still the only place to pre-order will probably still only be on our actual website. And we've also, besides our website, we, you know, every time we sign a new project up, I run over to GoDaddy and try and find a suitable domain name that is, you know, short, sweet, to the point. And so, you know, you can use jawsartbook.com and it dumps you right to the pre-order page on our website right now. So.
Okay, excellent. Which is good. A little bit easier to track down.
Yeah. Exactly.
Is the book all art, or is there commentary? Is there?
So generally what we do is, you know, in the past, what we've done is, once we have our finalized selection of art that will be in the book, as I begin the book layout process, I reach out to all the artists and say, hey, listen, if you'd like to write up something about why this movie speaks to you, why you've done a piece for this property, or why you did the piece you did. So generally our books, the text in our books are direct pieces written by the artists themselves, talking about why that movie or why that TV show is so important to them.
Okay.
Which I also really like, because I think it makes a nice connection between people who buy the books and look at the art, and a nice connection for them to the actual artists themselves.
Oh yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see the introspective and what was the drive behind the, you know, the art that was done. You know,
exactly.
And on my end of things, I can make that connection, be like, oh, okay, wow. I can't draw that, but okay, I get where he's coming from. You know what I mean? Like,
mm-hmm.
I understand his perspective on things.
Yeah. So just a little history. So why Jaws is so important to me. So I'm a big movie guy, have been my whole life. And basically Jaws is like my first movie memory. It was the one I remember my dad taking me and my brother to stand in line outside the theater in 1975 in the middle of summer, standing there waiting to go inside to see Jaws. And then later that summer we took a trip to it was the following summer. Our family went to California, Universal Studios, and they had the Jaws thing already there, and you could pose next to the big the rubber shark hanging upside down, and you know they were Jaws centric a year later, you know. But yeah, so Jaws for me is very important when it comes to like my own kind of movie history.
Yeah, huge. And honestly, a lot of the books that you guys already have are very reflective of things that we're often diving into and talking about as well. So
awesome.
Same genre. Kind of grew up in that. I was just having that conversation about honestly 1970s. Yeah, maybe some of the 80s, but 70s for me was like the time for movies, as far as I'm concerned. Really, just I don't know, it held its own. I mean, there's definitely movies, other time periods, and things of that nature. But in large, I think someone said like, "What is your favorite '70s movie?" I'm like, how can you name one? I mean, it's just
What's your favorite kid? Right, exactly.
Exactly. You just start running down the list, and then, well, what about this one? What about yeah?
Well,
So
and then that's the thing too. You invariably forget about something, and then you're like, "Oh man, how could I not?"
Yeah.
My favorite movie of all time goes back and forth between two. I can't make a decision between the two because my love for these two films is for very different reasons. My two favorite films of all time are Platoon and Alien. And so those two movies go back. And when somebody asks me my favorite movie, it just depends on the day of the week, how I'm feeling.
Sure.
It's usually mostly Alien, but there are days when if I pass Platoon on TV, I can't not watch it. There's just something about that movie that just absolutely owned me.
Oh yeah. There's a handful out there that no matter what, no matter when they're on, doesn't matter. And if you've seen it a million times, you're just going to let it run. You know what I mean? You have that connect? Yeah. 100% agree with that. Yeah. Hey, we got a couple people chiming in. Sorry, not to interrupt. Just saying good evening, Stephen. Saying, hey, I already bought my Jaws PJs, so I'm ready to go.
So awesome. Thank you.
Couple guys are expressing their interest here. So
super cool.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. I just am. Again, this is one I've had marked on the calendar for a while. For a couple of years, and we've been trying to kind of nail down exactly how we wanted to approach it, how we wanted to go about it, and so I'd actually been trying to get the pre-orders up earlier. I work for a couple of big convention companies doing different convention stuff. And so we have a connection back to Richard Dreyfuss. And so at the time we were trying to make some kind of arrangement to where we could get some signed plates to do a signed kind of super deluxe edition. And we're still working on it, but it kind of got to the point where we didn't want to hold up the process of getting the book up for pre-order any longer, because the longer we wait only kind of pushes it out further at the other end. And we didn't want to be putting the book out at Christmas time next year. We want to kind of get it out for summer. So we want to, if the Dreyfuss signed thing ends up working out for us, and we end up getting signed book plates, whatever number that may be, I'll probably shoot for at least 75. We'll probably reach out to the people who have already purchased deluxe editions and say, hey, listen, we're going to be putting up this other deluxe edition up. And if you're interested, here's when it's going to go up. If you're interested, we'll figure out a way to make an upgrade possible for those who are interested in upgrading to that particular package.
Pay the difference for the book plate.
Well, the difference of whatever it is, because we'll probably do a whole different package on it. Like we'll probably do, instead of doing a slipcase, we'll probably do actually a 2-piece presentation box with the book inserted inside with some extra stuff and more goodies. So make it a bigger deal.
Okay.
So you guys at home, kind of what you're hearing is, if you get that order in now, you might have a shot, right?
That's true.
Well, they'll be the first. If you've put up and ordered a copy already, you'll be made aware of that before it actually goes up for sale. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't trying to put any words in your mouth. I'm just trying
to. No.
I'm trying to tempt people there.
Hey, listen, anything that gets the idea out to people that they should pre-order the book as opposed to waiting until we have it in hand is better for us and better for them, honestly, because it gets us kind of moving quicker. So.
Sure. Awesome. Incredible. Wow. So do you guys have any feelers or ideas maybe for what's going to happen next once, say, Jaws is out there and released and some of the other guys are going? Like any direction you think about going in? Or
there's a couple of things that I want to go after. Sure. I would love to do a book on, there's a number of, the licensing show coming up in May again this year. So I'm sure we'll have meetings set with a number of companies. We have sort of 3 projects that are kind of sitting, waiting on the launch pad, just kind of waiting for the okay, co-publishing deals with another big comic book company that has the rights as master publisher for another property, actually two properties. And it's a situation where they want us to do a book about this one property, and it's not that I don't want to do it, but I just don't know the property very well. So it's going to take a little more work on my part to actually get it done. It's an episode guide, so I'll have to actually sit and watch a couple hundred episodes of this show and do synopses and gather assets and whatnot. But what it does is it opens the door to the other property, which is the one I really want. So unfortunately, that's not unfortunate at all, but it's a situation where it's like, okay, I'm going to do this book that I really know nothing about to get to the one that I really want to do and know a lot about. So it's kind of it's certainly not a negative in any way. It's just sort of okay, I'm going to have to bear down and do a little more work ahead of time.
You got to do a little bit more digging than you wanted, but hey, that's the way it goes, right?
Exactly. And then we've got another project we've got coming first part of the year will be the first of at least 3 new projects from Tim Bradstreet, the artist Tim Bradstreet. We've done a really cool book that we're calling Cinematica, and then Tim has been working. I don't know if you know Tim's work at all. So Tim has been working on a series of drawings over the last 10 years based on kind of his favorite movie stuff. And they're these beautiful portraits, images of actors from films, all these different stuff. And so we're doing it. The book is going to be basically 75 films that'll include sort of essays written by Tim and members of our own staff about these movies, and including all this brand new Tim Bradstreet artwork. And then as soon as we get that project wrapped up, Tim hasn't done an art book of his own collection, of his own commercial work. For the last one came out about 12 years ago. So he's due, and we're hopefully going to jump right into those, and that'll be a 2-volume set to make up for that. So hoping to open up a whole new bunch of stuff with him next year.
If you're using fan art, do you have to get it licensed as well? If it's not Universal's property or 20th Century Fox's property, if you did Alien?
So in the past, most of our projects we've done have gone with licensing. And it's one of those areas. I've done a lot of research online about this, because there's a lot of properties that we would love to do projects for that are, I don't want to say off limits for us, but have a lot more roadblocks in place. And just because like for example, Warner Brothers is terrifically difficult to deal with when it comes to licensing, because Warner Brothers is at the point now where it's like they have such a strong library and sort of, amount of properties that you can dig into. They don't want to go through and do these little small piecemeal deals anymore. It's kind of like, I don't want to say it's beneath them, but the amount of work it would take to focus on one small project for them is not worth their time and effort in their mind.
Right.
So they want you to come in. Well, they want you to come in and give them a check for $250,000, and then you have access to their library for 3 years. And then it's like, but it's like, we're not a company that's putting out $1 million worth of product every year, or every 3 years, So it's like, we're just not at the point where we can just go in and say, okay, here's $250,000. All right, now we can have access to anything that's in the Warner library. And there's lots of other things that ties into, like, even though, Warner owns New Line Studios, it doesn't mean that we can just go and do Lord of the Rings stuff, even if we have a Warner Brothers license, because everything Lord of the Rings has to go through Tolkien estate. So it doesn't matter. So it's like, that's not even a guarantee of everything that's in their library. So it's like, it's difficult. It's a licensing is a funny business. and every year when I'm there, like for example, like I was just out Christmas shopping last weekend, and I'm looking around and there's some Kraft macaroni and cheese socks. And I start laughing, and and there's a whole Doritos socks and Cheetos socks and all these other different food things as socks. And I'm like, all right. And I started thinking about it, and I'm like, every year I walk through the floor at licensing show, and I'm like looking at these companies, and they have all these boards up with all the companies that they represent and everything else. And I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, who's licensing Cheetos? And now I know who's licensing Cheetos. These stock guys are licensing Cheetos. So the short answer to your question is yes. In the past, we have done licensing. We are actually doing this book without a license. There's a couple of different things ways we're approaching it. We've reached out to Universal several times without response. So it's kind of a situation where, and things that we've dealt with in our contract work in the past has made it kind of given us the kind of green light to kind of just go for it and see what happens. We're hoping ideally, perfect world, that, they see the product and, we get a license sort of after the fact. That would be a perfect situation for us. It's not going to deter us from making the product. If it gets to the point where, if they were to send us something saying, hey, you guys needed to knock it off,
right.
That's a different situation. But
I think as long as you don't use the font.
Right. It's funny.
Really? Because I had to change the font on my Jaws 2 book, and on the one that I sent you the mock-up of for next book. It's not It's not the Jaws font.
So, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, no, and it's funny. So for the mock-up on the cover of our book, we actually used it was a logo that I found on the Japanese press book.
That's I noticed the
so that's why I chose to use that one rather than the classic Jaws font. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I'm super excited either way.
Me too.
And I'm kind of of the mind that this is going to happen regardless. So we've made the decision. We're going down the path, and we'll take it as it comes. So
that's awesome. We are very excited, very interested in it too, and great to see this stuff coming out, and again, kind of reinventing and reintroducing, bringing in some new people. And so very excited to see it. And we will post the website up afterwards, and don't be afraid to get in there and post some things as things progress for us.
Awesome. The thing about our projects is like, people see a lot of artwork online, and they can go online and you can put up Jaws alt poster and see a ton of stuff. None of that stuff is going to be in our book. All the pieces that go into our projects are created for our projects.
Oh, nice.
So all the artwork you see in our books is stuff that literally no one's ever seen before, unless they've seen it like the artist posted, like either like a small work in progress or a small crop or something. But but the stuff is created for our projects, and that's kind of just one of the parameters that we set for the project. That's we give the artist a window to work in. Generally try and shoot for a minimum of 4 months. Just to give them time, because a lot of these guys are working artists and have projects they're already in the middle of, have stuff that they need to get paid to do. And so like, this is stuff that like they're doing out of love. So.
Awesome. Very cool, buddy. Very cool. Yeah. I'm very, very intrigued, to be honest with you. I'm going to have to kind of do some digging here, maybe get an order up, because I'm very intrigued to see some of this art. I'm very much a visual person.
Okay.
More so than reading at times. And so, I really want to see it, kind of take in.
There's a lot of beautiful stuff out there. They've done Mondo's done a couple of programs over the last few years for like the 40th and the 45th anniversaries. Mm-hmm. And there have just been some, I own a few of them myself. There have just been some really beautiful, just stuff done for as alt movie posters. They have come out of that. They've come out of that world.
Sure.
There's a ton of it. Don't get me wrong. You can get, it's a rabbit hole. You can get lost down it, but there's just some other stuff, but it's fun because it's like, and honestly, just doing the research when I first started kind of jumping in and pulling down assets and stuff offline, just looking at the the foreign posters that came out from the original release are super fun. You know,
Yeah,
there's
they really are.
some really cool stuff that was done that we would never have seen if not for the internet.
Yeah.
But or at least most people wouldn't know about it. So it's been fun just kind of digging around and finding stuff like that. But yeah, we're definitely gonna try and put together a little background material also, like anything that we can find art wise that kind of directly speaks back to Jaws itself or the film. It's not like a making of book. We're not doing that kind of, that's not the kind of book we're doing.
No.
But when it comes to the art side, I know that I've seen a few shots online of Joe Alves, storyboards that he's done, and I know he sells prints of his storyboards that are signed. And I don't know I don't know if somewhere there's just somebody's got a stockpile of the actual originals.
Yeah, Joe does. Joe's got them all. He's got them all in his study. Yeah.
Does he still have them all? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the attribute. That's a worthy reach out right there, as far as I'm concerned. Just put out a book of the Jaws storyboards.
Well, he did. He put one out a couple
3 years ago. 4
Oh,
years,
did he?
3-4 years ago.
Of all the storyboards?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. I'll have to try
and
my,
through it. Yeah.
In my Jaws 2 book, I've got a storyboard from the helicopter pilot attack. And then we had Christine Freeman on, who's the water skier, and she has the original storyboards of when they drew up her attack.
Yeah.
So
nice. Yeah. Very cool.
Which originally had 2 water skiers, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Really cool stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I did a similar thing. I put together a book that I'm working on. I'm hoping to get it out next year. I wanted to get it out this year to take advantage again of the 50th anniversary. But I found a huge collection of the original storyboards from the Towering Inferno. So wow. I have good scans of about 500 or 600 of the, I don't know, couple thousand that they did for the movie. So I've got those all kind of put together and laid out, and I've got a cover for it. It's just kind of a matter of finding a place for it in our schedule and in our release. But that's another one I hope to get out next year.
Sure.
There's just that's a vanity thing for me. We'll probably only print 1,000 copies of it because I'll just be like. But that's one for me, because Towering Inferno is another one that I absolutely love.
Oh, I don't know if you can make me bigger on this.
Yeah, hold on a second. I'll pull you in.
Speaking of Lee, Goat Boy, you should reach out to him. He did this, and the glares. Let me turn this off. The glare is going to be blinding. But it's
with Dreyfus. Yeah,
like the sign, but it's the back of the Orca.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's got the crushed beer can and the crushed styrofoam can. But he does amazing work. He's actually doing the cover for my Fanatics book that's coming out next year.
Oh, okay.
But
cool.
Yeah, reach. Oh, I just bumped my leg. Yeah, reach out to him. He does amazing work.
Super cool. Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, he's on our. I can't remember what project he did. He had, or why we had a conversation with him about.
And I would imagine, I think he does more than just Jaws related stuff too.
Oh yeah, he does all.
He does a lot of different stuff.
I know. I know. At some point, he had reached out to me and asked to be put on our mailing list. So. I don't know. Maybe ask him just if you talk to him, maybe ask him and see if he's still getting our project emails, because we just sent one out. We sent out 2 within the last 4 months, one for the Crow and one for Mars Attacks. So just see maybe if he's getting them, and if he's not, just have him reach out to me.
Yeah, definitely,
and let me know. And if you need, I mean, I've got an email address. I'm not going to give his email address here, but I've got an email address for him. Maybe maybe he's updated or changed it. So.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Perfect.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, and this is, for anyone watching this or listening, if you're an artist and you're interested in submitting for the project, just reach out to us here, either at info@printedinblood.com or printedinblood@gmail.com. And, just hit us up with an email and, either a link to like your Instagram account or, whatever, and just say, hey, I'd really love to be considered for this. And I can get you on the mailing list. So that way that when we go out with our big launch kind of email for the project, as many people as we know that are want to be involved, at least we'll know about it.
That sounds awesome. And you guys listening at home too. Steve is a member on our page on our site too. So like I said, I will post up the site and you can actively track him down if you want to stalk him right on the page. So either way, you'll be
pretty easy to find.
You'll be able to get in touch. Yeah. You'll be able to get in touch.
I don't do a lot of hiding.
Awesome, buddy. Well, we really appreciate your time coming on tonight and talking a little bit to us about your pieces and about the books. And definitely piqued my interest. And like I said, we'll get the site posted up on the sites for people to take a look at and look into, not only just for the books themselves, but if we have a couple of artists out there, reach out to you. So
fantastic.
Really looking forward to this, and your timing is great. We're coming up on the 50th, so
I'm so excited. There's going to be so much cool Jaws stuff next year. It's not not even funny.
Yeah. Crazy ready for it. Awesome.
Counting the days.
All right. No doubt about it. Cool. All right, buddy. I appreciate you joining us this evening.
Thanks for having me. I really very much appreciate it.
Yeah, and if updates or something come up, post them up, and we'd be glad to get them up on there. All right?
Awesome. Fantastic. Really appreciate it, guys.
Hey, thank you very much, Steve. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Enjoy the rest of your show. Have a happy holidays.
Hey, take care.
Thank you, Stephen. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya. All right. Hey, pretty cool. Very cool. I'm kind of interested in seeing some of the art that shows up in these books. Hey, we have some comments. You guys at home, I have the Facebook pages up and running. On my computer, they are stalled out. I have no comments. So I got on my phone and I'm looking, and we've got so Janie's on with us. Janie's saying couldn't make it tonight. Janie, I saw your post there. Sorry about your situation there. Hope things are going okay. We got Donna saying Merry Christmas, everybody. We got Vic is on hanging out with us. We got definitely a handful of people here as I jump back and forth. So I apologize. Yeah, wasn't ignoring you guys. Just trying to get things
so busy. I wasn't even checking the comments.
Yeah, for some reason I pull them up and they've been dead. And I kind of ran into that on Saturday. There's a bunch of people on there and I didn't quite see it. So I do apologize for that. But I am actively seeking you guys out. So thank you very much. And we've got definitely the rest of you guys over on YouTube here. We got, Robin watching saying, thanks, Stephen. Very cool. Yeah, very interesting. And, I'm really sincere about, breathing new life into these things with some of these new graphics. And if you're like me and you're very much a visual centered kind of person like that, I mean, I fall over that stuff. I'm just so intrigued when I see new perspective on things like that. So yeah, Vic saying, yep, thank you, Stephen. Happy holidays. Yeah. And Vic saying, Merry Christmas to Donna. Happy holidays to Robert. Yeah. A little back and forth. Yeah. So speaking of holidays, we thought how about a quick little, 40-second fun Jaws holiday intermission as we kind of kick back over here to year in review and looking at 25. Sound good, Mike?
I love it.
Little fun comedic break here. Let me pull something in here for you. This is a short one, but a good one. Here we go.
The herald angels sing glory to the ocean's king. Teeth on earth, the shark is wild. Careful, he will eat your child. Watch out, swimmers, feel my wrath. I will bite you right in half. Shark, the herald angels sing glory to the ocean's king.
I stumbled across that and said, I've got to work that in somehow. That's just great.
Love it.
Good stuff. Yeah. Really good stuff. Oh man. We got Vic. 2024 was the year for Jaws 2 guests. You know,
It was.
was it or was it 2023? Because you guys had like 8 or 9 of them like back to back for a while.
Yeah, we had a bunch for a while. We had that was like our best year for guests because
Oh,
we
it was
had,
just it was like every other weekend you had someone else on.
we had Dave Elliott and Murray Hamilton's son David.
Yeah.
And Von Babison and
Tom was on. I mean, everybody was on. Yeah.
Yeah. And ironically, we were supposed to have Joe the week after Jay got hacked. So.
Oh, that's right.
Because we were just promising and promoting the hell out of having Joe Alves. And Victor promised to be on his best behavior and not make any negative Jaws 3 comments.
And hey, that was something we learned. We learned Victor's a real person this year, didn't we? Yeah. Victor's not a bot or anything, or like a Mark Zuckerberg with a mask on. He's a real guy. We got him on this year too. Yeah, we have some fun guests this year, 2024. I tried to go and just grab a couple fun little clips from some of the different ones, and we had. I'll be honest, we had some people we had on, like when Jeff came on. I was pretty nervous when that show started there, and it took me a little while to kind of ease up a little bit, and just a lot of I don't know. I guess when you see these people and you read about these people these years, and then when you talk to them and realize how down to earth this group of people are, you're like, okay, this really isn't that bad, because they have that old adage where don't always meet your heroes, because sometimes your heroes are, more or less villains. I have not run into that problem. I mean, one time, met some of those down to earth, nicest, humble people that I have come across. I mean, really, and just incredible. In fact, I've got a quick little clip of Jeff. We'll just kind of wind in here, just telling a quick, funny little story here about his wife and Richard Dreyfuss's wife. Let's pull that in.
And Jaws, that's how I know Richard and became friendly with Richard. And we're years and years ago when we were having our first children, we were both pregnant at the same time. And Richard called me up and he goes, "Kramer, come up for dinner and bring Greenblatt's chicken." Now, Greenblatt's was a delicatessen it doesn't exist anymore in Los Angeles. So we went and got the chicken from Greenblatt's. We had dinner. We came home. And within 24 hours, both women delivered babies. We always blamed it on the Greenblatt's chicken.
And those are, I mean, I don't know about you. I love hearing about the movie and stuff, but it's those little personal stories that just, Dreyfuss said at one time, Jaws allowed me the ability to dine out on it for the next 40 years. And like, those are the things, those little stories.
Great little stories.
Oh my gosh. That's something you could write in there.
And I think that's the son that Richard is godfather to. Jeff's first son.
I think he told us that later, I believe. Yeah. Awesome stuff. Yeah. Robin's saying, yep. Amazing. Yeah. Having Billy Van Zandt on twice was really cool. Yeah. Yep. A lot of fun there. What else did you say? Yeah. Jeffrey, Christine, and Billy. Yeah. In fact, I got a quick little clip here. So I have just a quick little clip. And Janie, I hope you're still watching, because I got a little clip of you. When we had Christine on, Janie kind of went into fangirl mode there for a couple seconds when she heard about one of the other movies that Christine was in. So let me drag that guy in here real quick.
They wanted to make a film called Freaky Friday.
Yes.
It was the first one with Jodie Foster and
Barbara
Harris.
And John Aniston. And they wanted somebody that was about the size of Jodie Foster. And so they called me up and they said, "Would you want to do this? They want to meet you." So I drove down there and I met them. And that took about 3 weeks. And we did film every day, and they filmed it on
Wait a minute. You water skied for Jodie Foster and Freaky Friday?
yeah.
I'm in love with you, woman.
So, not to
That's
interrupt,
so good.
I have a little clip of that if you guys want to see it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Roll it.
I did a little digging here. I have three little clips here. There you go, Janie fangirl, and she was quite excited by that. That was pretty cool. Yeah, fun stuff. Awesome. So Janie, I'm expecting a comment from there. If you're still on, you better hop on there and say something. Give a little feedback. Yeah. What was one of your favorite episodes, Mike? Did you have anything that stood out from this past year?
Having Billy back, Christine was great.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice having a full roster of hosts again, and taking the show up to another level. And a lot of that's thanks to you and your hard work. And
I appreciate you that, Mike. I wasn't trying to set you up though either, but no, honestly, I really do. I do appreciate that, because I'll be honest with you. I go back and I watch the shows like a week after we tape them to kind of see what can I do, and going back and watching my first couple of shows, you could tell I was like worried about how it was going to go, because I was all business. I had zero emotion.
Yeah.
I became very factual. Okay, got to loosen up a little bit here and act like I'm almost enjoying this a little bit. So it's quite the learning curve when you realize, what all's going on. It's not, how could I put that? When I would sit and watch you guys, and comment and this and that, it is, you don't realize a lot of what is going on, even live, let alone what goes into the show ahead of time. And so, big kudos to you guys. Awesome. Yeah.
And it's like we did when we premiered Judy's Deputy Hendrix
video. That was awesome. Yeah.
That was great. That
was a lot of fun. Yeah. And some of the shows that I was kind of like, okay, I love doing the show, or otherwise I wouldn't do it. But some weeks you're kind of like, okay, yeah, we're doing this week. And sometimes those were like the surprises. You're like, oh my gosh, that was a blast. Like, I would finish up and go upstairs, and Jen might go, so how's the rest of the show? I'll go, oh yeah, it went pretty well this set. And some weeks I was like, that was so much fun just to sit and be a part of it, and to participate in what was going on. And sometimes they kind of come out of left field, and it's just,
Those are the fun shows when we start talking about something entirely not related to the topic. Yeah.
Well, and that was always my favorite. There was you and Jay did a show or two where you had just maybe a basic topic, and that was about it. You were kind of like, okay, we're just gonna have like open forum, and some of those shows to me were such a blast, because it was like what is it, like I don't know, what do they call it, like the 7 different like connections to like Kevin Bacon. It's like you guys would start here and then make a connection to here and then go here. Those are some of the most fun conversations, that I remember watching and listening to. And so, it is, as much as I kind of worry sometimes, I get a little sidetracked. It goes to some neat places.
And then adding John Hooper too to the roster. John brought some much needed comedy input.
He does. And I told John before, and I hope we take this as a compliment. He is funnier beyond my intelligence at times. He will say things, just quick little quip, or what he says or how he says it, and it'll take me a minute to go, damn, that was pretty brilliant. Like, how did I not pick up on that right away? Yeah. John's been a real welcome. Keith comes on and joins us. Always fun. Obviously you and I, and having Janie on, and just having, at least with me, the more people we have in the studio at times, I think it just changes the dynamic. It's a little, it's a little tougher. You got to kind of like back yourself off a little bit, give yourself a little wait time, but it really kind of changes the dynamic when you mix all those perspectives in. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. A couple comments here. Let me pull some up here. We got Robert. I definitely want to join for Donna Wilkes. I'm a firm defender of hers. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting her on too. trying to reach out to her. I know she still does some of the circuits and shows and things, doesn't she?
Mhm.
So yeah, we'll work on that. I would love to have her on. And yeah, I'm a defender of hers too. So unfortunately, she, like Billy said a couple weeks ago, she does take a bit of a beating, but she was doing her job. I mean, she was acting out the scenes the way she was supposed to.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, you know, Billy getting ripped in half, you would go, damn, that's good acting. She's screaming like, yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. Jane's correcting me because my head's like a sieve. Yeah, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever it is.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, what else is he saying? June 26th, 2025. Let's talk live in Martha's Vineyard. You know what? I'd love to sit here and say that's a guarantee, but let's say I'm really going to try and make that happen at least one evening that we're there.
Yeah.
When
we're all up there, we'll figure out something. We'll take over something.
We will definitely. I'm trying to kind of put some feelers out there and get some ideas. I'm not going to do or say anything yet, but if and when it does, I will definitely be saying something, letting you guys know about that. So we got Janie. With us, it's more like 6.5 degrees. Turn left, and and listen, with my goldfish brain, it's more like driving down like a dead end street with one headlight out. I don't know what the hell's going to happen half the time, or where I'm going to end up. So it's just the way it goes. Oh crap! I tell you, one of my favorite episodes that we did this past year, and we talked about doing it again sometime here in the near future, was when we did the trivia night.
Oh yeah. Right.
That was a lot of fun, not just having the people on and interacting, trying to answer the questions, but their interactions and their feedback and their one-liners that they were throwing in here. It was some great stuff. We had Judy, we had Jamie on, Sonia was on. So I pulled a quick clip, and it was a little bit of Jamie not putting his foot in his mouth, but putting some good one-liners down, and then Judy throwing in some perspective. Let me pull that in here quick.
Sorry, don't know.
That's all right. Anyone else want to take a shot?
I'm having a blonde moment here.
Hey.
Wow.
All the blondes on there.
Okay, I want citations. When in the movie do you find out the name of Ben Gardner's boat? When in the movie? Because all I remember is Brody saying, that's Ben Gardner's boat. It's all beat up. So where did they say the name?
The name of his boat is All Beat Up.
What? You liar.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, damn, that guy's funny. I like that guy.
It's also in the book.
Yeah.
They say in the book.
I read the book when I was 16.
I didn't read the book.
That was a good one, Mike. I had to include that in there. That was a good one. The name of the
That's
book.
funny. I was thinking that when we just watched that clip. I was going to say,
really?
it's all beat. Same as the boat. It's all beat up. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, we got a couple of people asking about trivia. How about bringing Queen of Martha's Vineyard Donna on? Listen, I've mentioned something to Donna a few times. If I can coerce her, maybe on the 50th, maybe we can coerce her. We'll see.
We're on the island. We'll grab her because you can't escape us.
That's exactly right. And there's two of us. You get on one side of her, I'll get on the other. We'll try and get something. But yeah, I've tried. Donna loves to be a part of what we're doing and loves to interact and talk. Haven't been a little camera shy, and that's okay. We'll work on that. And if not, I don't know. Maybe Mike and I will have to hijack her and force her into submission for a quick interview. We'll see what happens. Donna, please don't call the police.
We'll tell her we want to take her Jaws tour, and then we'll just get in her car and drive her to wherever we're doing the show.
Kidnap her in her own vehicle. There we go. Yeah, Robert's saying, yes, trivia was so much. That was a lot of fun for me. I really enjoyed doing that. We'll have to do that one again. Yeah, we'll have to keep that in mind here for the near future. What else we got here? One of my favorite moments was when Mike referenced Planet of the Apes. when I was on and lost it. Yeah, well, Mike makes some deep dive references, Planet of the Apes, Star Trek, some things that, yeah, I always get an education on here, without a doubt.
All that useless information that forced its way in.
My wife calls it useless information. I have a friend, a real good friend. He calls it coffee table book information. Oh. And then what? That sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good, right?
With this brain, Matt and I drank for free many nights. you go to a bar and they throw a really hard trivia question up.
Right.
You got a picture if you got it right. And like I know one night it was like, what were the name of the 7 castaways on Gilligan's Island? And I went up and I said, blah, 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 blah. And the guy just stared at me, and he says, "Well, can you give us our next question?" So
nothing wrong with that.
So
nothing wrong with that at all. All right, what else we got going on here? Janie's chimed in. She can't run from the three. That's right. We each get on one side of Donna.
We'll tackle her. We'll just get into the corner.
That's right. Worst comes to worst.
Planet of the Apes will just throw a big net around her and drag her through town.
Yeah, right? Well, she's yelling at us, "You damn filthy apes." Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Well, we had one or two more clips that I got of some people that we had on here. And then maybe we can kind of hit a little bit on what we think is going to happen for the 2025. And we're gonna finish on what I consider to be a real treat tonight, which is we're gonna finish on a trailer for a new Richard Dreyfuss movie. And if you guys don't know about it, I'm not even going to say anything. I'll just wait till the end. But if you haven't seen it or heard about it, you're going to be kind of like pleasantly surprised. So, but yeah. So I often talk about myself on here getting an education, whether it's from you guys, whether it's from our guests. It's always picking up and learning on something new. And we interviewed Gabe from Spicy Shark, which was a lot of fun. Great guy. And he's one of those guys. I met him, well, Mike, when I met you when we were down in Tampa. It's one of those guys you talk to for 2 seconds, and just easy to talk to. Great personality. I knew we had to try and get him on. And I'm a huge fan of his hot sauce and stuff so as well. So I was glad we finally got him on. And so I was trying to ask him what works. And when you guys, if anyone's into the hot stuff, like what takes away that hotness? And we always thought it was water. We always thought it was milk. And so he gave a little quick answer, the number one remedy for hot sauce. Here we go.
That actually can speed up capsaicin burn. And
so I wanted to ask you that. What are they?
Yeah. So, a lot of people say water helps. A lot of people say, no, water makes it worse. It does neither. I actually will have water if things are alarming, just because the coldness and the wetness of it is a distraction and feels nice, but it doesn't hurt or help. There's only 3 things to help speed up capsaicin burn, and they help like this much, and that's sugar, fat, and alcohol. So basically a White Russian is the greatest thing that you could have.
No kidding.
Carbonation makes it worse. So a beer wouldn't really be too good because the alcohol and the bubbles would counteract each other. But yeah, like whipped cream, it does help. But really, it's time.
So there you go.
So brown sugar, bacon, and a shot.
Or a White Russian. Go figure. Yeah. Next time you order something hot. Yeah. Or just tell them you want to. Yeah, just tell them you want some, I don't know, some white type of liquor. What do you say? Yeah, fat, sugar, and cream. There you go. Who would have thought? Man, all works. All works.
The more you know.
Exactly. Hey, Trivial Pursuit was created by 2 Canadians. Wow, that's a victor's fact right there. I think we still have the original Trivial Pursuit. You fold it up so many times, the one crease kind of splits and becomes a 3-way. And we still have 2 or 3 versions of that. Yeah. I can't say last time I played it.
I had a friend in Baltimore that was so good when he rolled. He had to answer every question on the card. So
Really?
when it was his turn, he got however many cards are. He got 6 cards.
Really?
He would answer them all. You know, who is Jethro Tull? A
Dear
band?
God.
No, he was a 16th century agrarian or something like that. And it's just yeah, that's the guy they make Jeopardy for. Yeah.
Wow. Jeez. Yeah, I am not on that pay scale. That's not happening. We got, who else we got here? How about Jeff Voorhees? You mean as a guest? We are honestly actively trying to reach out to different people to get different people on. So definitely not that we aren't trying or don't actively seek it out. But number one of the biggest hurdles at times is the fact that we're dealing with people from, just like here, from all across the globe, is trying to align that time factor. Because if we got someone, you know, like Andre, who's in the UK, you know, getting on, or someone that's on the West Coast or whatever, trying to get the time and the schedules to align. I know oftentimes we've been back and forth trying to make things work and figure things out. And we do have options. We could always go in like pre-tape shows, which I'm not saying that we never would. I do enjoy having the live,
the spontaneous comments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I tend to.
We had Jeff booked once, and that night, like 2 people called in at the wharf or something, and he couldn't come
had to go in.
Yeah, very apologetic, but he just couldn't come on.
Sure. So, a couple people who were definitely kind of, trying to reach out to, and then we get people that we come across, just like we had tonight with Steven, just some really interesting folks that, maybe weren't in the movie, but have some connections and do something professionally out there that are just of interest. And so really to kind of reach out there to any and everyone, all different walks of life. So, yeah. Very cool. And speaking of walks of life, I got one more little clip here, and I was going back through and digging back through, Mike. And do you remember when we had Jeff, the guy who worked on the Jaws ride, on?
Yes.
So I grabbed a quick clip of him. So let me pull him. He was a fun one. That guy was good to go. He really was. He was not a loss for words, ton of information, a lot of good stuff. Let me bring him up.
People on YouTube videos of the ride with, I assume it's the Jaws 2 where the shark and all that. So was it a different layout, a different experience?
Yeah, the layout was the same. Parts of it, the whole beginning. So I'll walk you, and whoever's listening, I'll walk you through the ride real quick if you never were lucky enough to experience it. So,
oh wow, that hurts.
Like the comic relief.
Sorry. Okay.
Jeff, I went to Universal twice, and both times the ride was broken.
Well, that was more like most times. The ride was broken. So
every picture of me, here's me with King Kong, frowny face. Here's me with E.T., frowny face. So, yes.
That was the story.
I try to imagine that I'm on the ride.
Explain those first 3 to 6 months were, I learned so well because I was a lead, so I was out front whenever there was angry guests and things. I was usually the one that had to walk out there and talk to them, placate them. Oh. And I tell you what, a back door to Kong will get you a long way with an angry guest.
There you go. Yeah, he was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. You're lucky enough to ride it. Yeah.
Yeah, I never was on it either. Yeah. I was met with Harry Potter, so I was sorry. There you go. Yeah, I know. I try and not hold that against it, but there's a little anguish there to this day, just the way it goes. But yeah. At any rate, well, 2025. I mean, what can we say about it outside of the fact that the 50th is coming? And that is by far, I think, one of the many facets of things that we know that are going on and in the works. And I think that's spurring a lot of things, like we had Steve on tonight talking about his book. Mike, you've got one in the works, right? You've got a book in the works, and you're starting to see things kind of sprout right now. Things are kind of in the gate or developing. So I have a feeling that comes springtime, and even not even up to the 50th, I think through the 50th and beyond the 50th.
Oh, yeah.
I think I mean, I think we're just right now starting to see inklings of some of this. Some of these little seedlings that are being planted, and I think this is really going to go big and really explode. Yeah.
2025 be the year of Jaws.
Without a doubt. I mean, this is going to be like Jaws hitting a movie theater during COVID. I mean, there was nothing stopping it. I mean, it was #1 film after 48 years or whatever it was. So, yeah. Just yeah, as great as 2024 or 2024, 2004. My God, this is what happens when you do this too late at night. As great as 2024 was, I think 2025 is going to be a big one. So, and speaking of which, before we kind of turn that page, we had some pretty big birthdays this week, right?
We did. Yesterday was that young man in the middle there.
Yes, Mr. Spielberg, and keep your ears to the rail. We will be doing a show on Mr. Spielberg here in the near future. Yeah, big birthday for him. How old is he? So is it 78? Is that right?
I think he was a year
72.
Well, I think it was a year older than Richard, the same age, because Richard just turned 77.
Okay, I thought it was right around there. Anyway, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd have to. That's all right, Mike. It's not that big of a deal as far as, but yeah,
78.
Is that what it is? Okay. Yeah. And Victor is solidifying that for us. Yeah, 78 years old. Yeah, and still going. Yeah, still doing well. And still looking good.
Working.
I mean, really. Yeah. I often think that's what, Yeah, I had an employer years ago who used to always say busy hands are happy hands. And I think that that's part of what keeps some of these guys, rolling with life in general, really. Yeah. So we had this guy's birthday, and we also had this guy's birthday, Mr. Ian Shaw. He just turned 55, I believe.
Yep.
Just turned 55, and Show's going to be making another run. Pretty impressive stuff. Yeah. Be another interesting guy to talk to. I've seen one or two interviews with him, and pretty neat, another humble guy, very down to earth as well. So, yeah. All right. Well, I hesitate to do this and bring this up, but we're not going to end on a somber note, but we do need to pay a little remembrance to the two people we lost this year as well.
Yeah.
We lost two pretty big ones this year, which was a real shame. People definitely left a nice legacy for us.
Members of the Jaws family.
Yeah. Without a doubt whatsoever. Well, let me grab that guy and take that out. I think we kind of covered really what we want to cover tonight, Mike. Anything else you want to throw in there or add in before we
hit the highlights?
We hit all the big stuff and the good stuff, and what we didn't remember, just go back and watch it. It's all there, so you can go back and check it out. So let's have a little fun. So we got a little Richard Dreyfuss clip, and I'm not going to say anything, but Mike, I do have to say, watching this trailer, I definitely get a little bit of not a tie-in, or kind of like almost like a continuation years later of a certain character. Did you not get that?
I did. Very little nostalgic, little meeting back with an old friend.
Yeah.
Or the friend of a friend in this case, I guess. The old friend's gone.
Yeah. All right. Let me move one or two of these around so I can drag this guy in. And where are you buried here? Sorry, I got so many clips in here. I just got to bring them in for us. And while I'm doing that here, let me see. So you guys got any big plans at home? Mike, you got big plans for the holiday here?
taking the grandkids shopping on Saturday. And that's it. Making room for Christmas dinner.
Very nice. Yeah, we're kind of playing it low key, not really going anywhere or doing a whole lot. Visiting family, that's about it.
No.
Okay. All right. Sorry here, I'm having a little trouble here trying to get this screen to show up here before I pull it up for us. I got to make sure I have it in queue. We just got to get it from in queue to up on our screen here. So bear with me here, guys. I apologize for the awkward moment of silence here. Let me get myself straightened out.
Or a continuing moment of silence for the for the people we lost.
Yes. Very much so. Very much so. And Victor's actually mentioned here about good old Mark Lipton as well. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot. Did we lose him? Was it 2024 that we lost Mark Lipkin, or was that 2023?
Gilpin,
I'm sorry, yeah.
It was good question. I got to think I wrote a piece for Dave.
Lost your audio, Mike. Mike, you still there?
Yes, I had muted. I was asking Alexa a question.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay.
I was panicking there. Hold on a second here. I think I got my cue straightened out. All right. Yep, we're good to go. Sorry about that. Sometimes I get a lot of things set up down at the bottom for the show. It got to kind of move some things around. It gets a little spotty. Here we go. All right.
Yeah. Mark died in 2023.
Okay. I couldn't remember if that was 23 or 24. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's roll this out. I'll come back. We got one or two comments here, and then we'll get fins up, and we'll say happy holidays and New Year. We're ready to go.
Happy New Year, yeah.
All right, guys. Here we go. Share screen, and
if you run the new Superman trailer by mistake, I won't complain.
Oh my! We'll be on for another half an hour, but yeah, that's amazing looking. If you guys haven't seen it, go watch it. Go watch it. It looks dynamite. All right, here we go.
Your mother tells me that you've been having some bad dreams lately. Now face that fear in order to beat your fear.
You don't have to do this.
What are you talking about?
The anniversary, your dad, same stretch of water.
I need to do this.
Let's get this party started then.
She is out on the ocean and about to do some diving.
Check your gear. Set the anchor.
This is going to be good for her.
The ocean is a dangerous wonder.
You're a visitor here. You are a guest of their kingdom. Be careful.
Mayday, Uncle Diver's in trouble, 50 miles due west.
Did you look at the size of that thing?
How y'all doing today?
Proceed with caution. A reported pirate activity in the north near the channel.
It's like we got 80 kilos down there just waiting for us.
Let's go get them. You won't say anything. Wish I could believe that, Chief.
No! There's a shark out there, and it is hunting.
Who do you propose go down there and set in my guys?
I've studied them my whole life. I'm the best chance that you've got.
That's one brave girl you got there.
You're a predator, and they're gonna know it today.
The ocean is a dangerous wonder. That kingdom is your kingdom too.
Hell no. Not getting me in anywhere near that water. That looks good.
You know what? It really does. I'm gonna have to go see that. And the footage and the digital stuff looks pretty good. And I'm sorry, but if that's not Hooper talking to his daughter, I mean, I'm not saying it was set up that way, but I get a little bit of that vibe, where he's talking like, oh, I was waiting for him to go, I stabbed that son of a bitch's father in the head 3 times when he hit my cage.
Which is funny because if you remember the gentleman that was down in Shark Con that had a script that he'd written called After Amity. It was funny. It was, if I remember correctly, it was Hooper's daughter comes to the island at the behest of the chief, who is now Hendricks' son. So it's kind of
come a little too fruition.
Kind of prophetic there. So,
yeah,
it looks good.
It does look good.
He just got that great narrator voice anyway. I mean, he's like Morgan Freeman. I can listen to him read the phone book. So
yeah, I mean, you could, there's a handful of movies that people narrated, and you're right. I mean, you're talking Lean on Me. I mean, really, that's like every resounding boy's childhood voice in your head, thinking back on it. It really is. And he still has, I don't know, Richard's one of those people that didn't have a ton of crazy facial expressions. He could sell it by his demeanor and his tone, I mean, really, I think Roy did that too. And he does it there, just looking at it going, Ocean's a dangerous place to be. And you're like, that's pretty sincere. It's not like over the top dramatic. Yeah.
What are you crazy over there? Yeah.
I just wanted to hear one. It's gonna swim, bite you in the ass just one time, but no.
Who knows? It might be in there. Saved it for the paying customers.
Yeah. All right, let's pull up a quote or two, and we'll say fins up and good night. All right, here we go. What do we got? Janie. Nope. Staying home, not doing anything. Want to wish everyone in the Jaws Army a happy holidays. Yes. Same to you. And yes, I echoed Janie's words out there to everybody. Robert's saying good night.
Hi, Robert.
Yeah. Wow. Of course, we will watch it. And yeah. Hell yeah, lots of Easter egg. Yes, even down to a harpoon gun that I saw in there, I believe. Yes, awesome. Very cool. So we're going to end on the high note there. Hopefully we got everyone a little bit hyped up and excited and ready to go. I know I'm definitely ready on that note. And we'll get some fins up, and we'll let Quinn take us out. Quinn has not taken us out in quite a while. So fins up, you guys at home. Thanks for joining tonight. Thanks for hanging out. And have yourself a jawsome holiday.
Yes.
Catch you later.
Indeed. Be safe.
Yes.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.
Have a good one, guys.
Merry Christmas.